everyone. I'm so happy to be interacting with students from CET, students who are a generation away. My name is Deepa Sarojamal, and I'm CEO of a company called Reflections, which is an IT services firm running out of Technopark in Trivandrum. I was a student of CET from 93 to 97 in the Electronics and Communication Engineering department. And those 4 years were grueling with all the semester exams, internals, labs, Viva OCs, assignments, and whatnot. But what have really stayed in my memory, even after nearly 24 years, are the fun times in CET, the daily fun time with friends, lunch at Lord's, the festivals, the Freshers' Day, Final Year's Day, and so on. What CET taught us was not just technical skills, but more about having fun while under pressure, a life skill that has helped me all these years in my career and still helping me. We picked up other life skills, such as thinking on the feet, quick decision making, falling on all 4 feet when in trouble, teamwork, especially with people from multiple states and cultures, and most importantly, the ability to really understand people. These are the skills I use to this day, every single day. I hail from a family with no businessmen women, but if I'm doing a tough job of running a business today, it's due to these life skills I picked up from CET. I spent about 7 years in Cognizant and 15 years in UST, and now I'm running Reflections. We grew the company by over 120% in the past 1.5 years, irrespective of how great a job I do, irrespective of any success I demonstrate. I'm called a woman CEO. Woman CEO. Others think of me being a woman more than I think of it myself. In my daily job, I never think I'm a woman CEO, so let me do this. I do what all CEOs do. So, my message to all young men and women watching this is do not worry too much about gender. If you are in CET and if you studied here for 4 years, you're qualified to achieve any great heights in this world, both men and women. When I studied in CET, there were hardly 10 girls in my class. I'm hearing that more and more girls are making it to engineering colleges today, the impact of which I get to see through the number of freshers joining our company too. There are more girls than boys joining from college. But what happens after that is very saddening. Many girls drop out due to various pressures in life. We see very less percentage of women at the top. It's less because of not because of any bias in the work environment, but more because of what happens in the home environment. It may take a couple of more generations for things to get significantly better. So, girls in this generation, find your own ways of breaking away from shackles and finding your way forward. Do not wait for others to change to make conditions better for you. Be the change yourself. And guys, support the women at your homes and at work. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. I wish all young men and women listening to this all the very best in life. And I take this opportunity to thank all the teachers who taught me in CET and all my friends who made me what I'm today. Thank you.
Hi, hello, fellow CTNs. My name is Johns. I'm the CEO and founder of IROV. I am a CET 2010 pass out from Applied Electronics and Instrumentation. I'm currently the CEO and founder of IROV, and marine robotics startup building underwater drones. We are basically a company into inspection of critical infrastructure like dams, bridges, and underwater pipelines. And also, we do sell underwater vehicles to defense organizations. So, I was asked to share my journey to fellow CTNs through the IEDC channel, and I'm happy to share whatever are my learnings to the upcoming entrepreneurs of CET. So my journey actually starts, if I would like to say, it starts from CET itself, back in 2006 when I joined the college, and mm, during that time I was very passionate about building hardware and building robotics products actually. And at that time, I think me with a couple of friends started building robots, or at that time we were mostly line follows, and we started with that journey. And I am very happy that I am one of the core team members who founded Robotics Club during that time period. And during the 4 years, it was a very memorable journey where with in CET building lot of robots during that time period, participating in various events, and even the entire CET journey was a lot of memorable to my life itself. And that was one of the reasons why, and that is one of the inspiration for us to start the company iRove. And my co-founder also is a fellow CET, in which I found through in CET when participating through the robotics competition, and we formed a team, robotics team at the college. So after that, my college, I did my post graduation in computer technology from IT Delhi, and then I worked with Samsung and also with Grey Orange Robotics. I had a couple of 3 to 4 years of experience, industry experience after my studies. So during the 2016 time was when I was discussing with my partner Kannappa. He was again did his master's in ocean and later worked with National of Ocean Technology, and we wanted to go back to our passion where we building robots in the college. So that's why we came across an real use case where inspection of ship hulls was very difficult, sending out a diver to do these inspections. So that's how we thought of idea of building underwater drones, and for doing inspection of these critical infrastructures. So so we started the company in 2016, and it was a lot tougher than what we expected. We didn't have the right resource, the funding, and also connects to the clients was very tougher. And after 1.5 years, all the funds got dried up, and we were at almost at the verge of shutting down the company. But somehow we were able to attract some level of funding and grants from multiple organizations. Like at that time, Kailash Automation Maker Village came up and provided us and supported us in taking up the company further. And post that, we were able to secure a grant from BPCL, which helped us build the first product, Irov Tuna, and successfully delivered to DRDO. Post that, I would say there were a lot of highs and lows. It was a roller coaster ride where our product sometimes failed, sometimes it worked well, and I think now we are at least a good stage where we have almost served 30 plus clients in the industry, work with some of the Fortune 500 companies, and we are now in the scaling up stage actually. So I would like to sum up with some of my learnings, which in my entrepreneurial career. One is that you should actually solve somebody's problem, which is a real problem, and uh, take the value out of it. If you are solving somebody's problem, then you have the right to take a value. So that's how your pricing comes in, and make sure that your product is being loved by the end users. And second is that you should have sufficient funding and plans for your entrepreneurial journey. It's not just a sprint, it's a marathon. So you have to watch out for a span of probably 5 years or even 10 years, how you're planning out, and ensure that you have sufficient cash flows and funds to operate for sufficient number of months before your product launches and you commercialize actually. And you should have a good team, and you should have a lot of passion and perseverance to pursue what you truly believe in. Unless it's going to be very hard, because as seen in the media and others, it's not very fashionable. It's going to be a lot more tougher, and I would say very hard journey. So you have to have a good team and perseverance to pursue your entrepreneurial dream actually. That's most from my side, and thank you for giving an opportunity to share my experience with fellow CTNs, and all the best to you.
My name is Dilo Joy. I have completed my PhD in electrical engineering from College of Engineering Trivandrum under guidance of Dr. Susha, teacher. My research invention is in the field of electric vehicle design. One of the designed electric vehicles here is completed in 2016 and successfully used this vehicle in 4 years inside the campus. I got patent also for this vehicle. The unique feature is that the electric engine with the 4 gear shifting mechanism is there. Here the BLDC motor, that is brushless DC motor, is here, replacing the IC engine cylinder with the brushless DC motor. Then one lithium-ion battery and controller inside the petrol tank. The petrol tank just like a outer cover. The lithium-ion battery is handmade with the 48 volt and 48 in capacity, which is just like the shape of petrol tank and arranged inside the petrol tank. Then all the connections are inside this unit, and one solar panel for free energy of charging of this battery. Just open the solar panel like this manner and are fully covered with the solar panel, so the battery is able to charge the solar panel unit. These are the one unique ideas of this design of this electric vehicle. Then this vehicle compared to TVS People GL bike, its torque is higher than ordinary TVS People GL bike because the gear based on the gear ratio. We can this vehicle having maximum speed is around 70 km per hour and the mileage is around 50 km. We have to change the gear ratio. We can reduce the torque, high torque of this vehicle with improving the speed also. So the design point of view, both are the working is both are same. Just apply the clutch and apply the gear. We can ride this vehicle anywhere. I will just start this vehicle for you. Just turn on the MCB equivalent to petrol of this IC engine vehicle and turn on the key and just give the acceleration. The vehicle is automatically start because the motor is self-start motor. I will start this vehicle. MCB also. This is the working of my designed electric vehicle. Thank you.
IoT gas cylinder. As described in the detailed project, it has basically 5 features. First, we can control the gas regulator. Actually, this is a stand attached with the gas regulator. So, we can control this gas regulator attached with the stand using a mobile app. From anywhere else we could control this. Okay, now I am showing the demonstration of how we could control. We have created the APK named Agni, which we are using to control this system. And I have this in this app a indicator bar and an on-off switch. The indicator bar shows how much of gas is left in our cylinder, and the on-off switch is for controlling the regulator. For example, now the gas regulator is in on mode. Okay, now I'm turning it off using the app. I'm pressing the off button. It takes a 5-second of delay and it turns off. Now again I'm pressing on. It gets on. Again off, off, on, on. This is how it works using a mobile app. So actually, how does it function? The app sends the information of on or off with a database, and we have a node MCU here which is accessing the database in every 5 seconds. So it is checking the condition where it is on or off within the database, and according to that it commands the Arduino to rotate the servo. And this is how this system works. Now the second feature of our project was in case of fire accident, the system will automatically turn off the regulator. It will inform the fire force and it will give a notification to the mobile. Now I will show you how this will happen. You can see an LM35 temperature sensor over here. Now I am going to light up this to increase the temperature, and it will demonstrate how the gas regulator is turning off the water frame. I am heating the temperature sensor and the regulator turns off. This is how this works. Okay, when the temperature is high or in the case of fire, now it works at a condition of about 90 degrees Celsius. So when the temperature gets about 90 degrees Celsius, it automatically turns off the regulator. It gives a warning message to the user phone through this app, and it also directs the app to send a message to the fire force automatically and inform them about the fire accident and about the location. Now the other feature, the third feature of this app is about the gas leakage condition. The condition where there is a gas leakage and no fire accident. So for this we have a MQ5 propane sensor here. Now when there is a propane leakage, we know when the leakage occurs, the gas is heavier than the air and it comes down. The propane sensor senses the gas and it commands the Arduino to turn off the gas regulator. And it gives a warning message to the user and no other actions will be taken else. Now for showing about the fourth feature is a load cell. Actually, unfortunately, we apologize for that. We don't have a load cell here. We actually ordered it, but it is delivered by 21st of the May and the deadlines are 20th. So we have a place where we will be placing the load cell. This is the place where we will be placing the load cell, and we will be covering the entire setup using a plywood. So the plywood will actuating the entire load of a cylinder over a load cell, and this will be under that. So it will not affect the strategy of the cylinder. Actually what happens, the load cell is continually measuring the amount of gas left in, and it will also show a display in your mobile app. And when the amount of gas reaches below a threshold amount, the load cell commands the Arduino, gives the information to the Arduino, and Arduino commands the app through the Wi-Fi MCU module to book a new gas with your booking agency. The message is sent within your phone by the app. Now the fifth feature which I was describing about was the display to the user about how much of gas was consumed or how much of gas is left with the cylinder and how much of gas is consumed during each cooking time. So this is displayed using a LCD display here. The work is actually in progress and we may think we will complete it within 2 days. This is the LCD display which will display the amount of gas left. I hope the 5 features of the project are clear enough, including the temperature sensor, the propane sensor, the mobile app, the LCD display and the load cell. Thank you.